Welcome to the Dojo Talk Podcast. Please remove them shoes before entry. Semester is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. We are on episode number 136. As always, you can give this podcast a listen on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Hit us up on social media at the Dojo Talk Podcast Facebook page, as well as the Instagram page. Send questions to Dojo Talk Podcast at yahoo.com. And you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch if you are a gamer at Serial Sensei. With that being said, it's been 2 weeks since we spoke to you guys. And as always, I am back with my co-host, Anti-Cool, after a little mini hiatus. What's going on, man?
Thiago Santos is now the second best light heavyweight in the world, and that's a world I want to live in.
There we go. It's going to be one of them podcasts.
Well, I so we're recording early, but I promised if Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua that the podcast will literally just be me laughing for 3 hours.
It's not too late. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, while we're recording this Saturday night, it is 9:12 p.m. So the Joshua Ruiz card is actually on right now, but the fight hasn't started yet. So I'd imagine maybe by the time we end, that fight will be going on. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll let you guys know in real time who got slept, who didn't make it. They got Ruiz out here in a Knicks jersey. Yeah, everybody got Knicks jerseys. Apparently, that's the thing.
I mean, they can't get any worse. So,
Right.
I mean, if Katie Taylor has to play point, I'm down.
But yeah, it's been a little hiatus. Took the birthday week off. My birthday was on Memorial Day. I'm now a member of the Dirty 30 Club. My knees still work, but I need to find a lawn to yell on. It's about that time now. Got to start finding yawns to yell on. I think I got to start buying khakis and polo shirts, and maybe even a golf hat I can wear on Saturdays.
You gotta get the Scottish man fisherman hat.
There we go.
It has to be like plaid.
No Crocs yet though. We're not doing Crocs.
I mean, you gotta work your way up to like Crocs with socks.
I don't know. Crocs just. I hope to never be that guy. I fear becoming the guy who wears Crocs and the guy who wears like the sweatsuits to the barbershop. I don't want to be either of those gentlemen. Yeah. But so far, I've been 30 for about a week now. Not a week. I can't count. It's been almost a week. Not so bad. Knees still work. Everything intact so far. Body ain't hurting. So we're going to keep the streak going.
You're not falling apart yet?
Not fully. I'm trying to hang on. I'm trying to hang on, and it's gonna happen eventually. But
you should do what the rich people do and just have circulate young people's blood through your body, like a rich vampire.
There we go. I'll figure it out. But nah, so far so good. 30s have been cool. Had a good birthday. Ate a lot of ice cream cake. Got to try chicken and French toast. I've been sleeping on that combination. It's actually a really good combination.
Oh, yeah.
I would have started that earlier in life.
Chicken goes with everything.
It does. I just for a while I didn't like the idea of like chicken and waffles, but like for me I don't know why for me or for a while it didn't make sense, and then I tried it and I was like, oh, I've been living a lie. I've been doing this wrong. Like
yeah, that's the thing though. Like chicken goes with everything, but chicken also goes with chicken, and chicken's great. So like, what else do you need? You know what I mean?
It was so good though, so good. But
God,
yeah.
Chicken.
So that's pretty much what's going on today. We took off the last week, enjoyed my birthday, chilled out, and my little brother's birthday was like 3 days after mine. So chilled out that week, but we're back. It's been about 12 days. Actually, real quick, shout outs to the listeners, because I went back and just looked at the numbers. I don't know what everybody loved about the Andrade, Thug Rose, and Pitbull versus Chandler episode, but the numbers just keep going up. I don't know if that card just meant a lot to more people than I thought, or I don't know. But shout outs to everybody who listened to it, because that's probably one of the highest listened episodes that we've had in a while.
Oh God.
Yeah, like it's up there, and I don't know what was so special. I mean, it was really good. It was a good card, and we got some violence, a lot of violence that night. But
Like I need now I need to know, like, are people like commenting in the thing or something? Like,
now there's no comments. But a lot of people just, I don't know, maybe somewhere.
I like to think that somebody just has it open, like their background tabs.
Right, and
Every time they open and close their laptop, it just like counts as another listen.
Right, that or somebody in some corner of the internet shared it, and a lot of people got to listen to it. Yeah, those numbers stand out. But I definitely appreciate it. I'm gonna let you get your shout out off before I start rambling.
Shit. Now you got me self-conscious about how to say his handle, but Monte23.tomboy.com, aka your broke homie Tay on Twitter. You are a lifesaver. Do let me borrow his PlayStation View so I can watch CBS Sports, which is where the WNBA is going to be having like 40 games this summer. So shouts to him. I owe him big time. Thinking about how to pay him back.
Hey,
Much appreciated, brother.
might just have to get you on the show.
Dude's funny as fuck. So he's more than welcome on the show.
Yeah. We might just have to bring you on there then. Friends give friends their passwords as long as they're trustworthy.
Yeah, dude, like complete stranger here, and he hooked the brother up. So
Meanwhile, I'm over here. Tried to log onto my mom's Netflix, and I don't remember the password, so I just gave up.
I mean, does she remember the password?
She does. And I could have asked for it, but that was too much work. Like, sometimes I can just log in because it just keeps me logged in. But when I don't use it for a while, I'll go back on, and I have to log in from the beginning. And I'm like, God, I don't remember this.
Yeah.
I just quit.
Dude, this fight is getting hella ugly. Like, I in the first, 30 seconds of it, I thought Taylor was just going to run away with it because Pursuin was just really slow in comparison. But good God, she is bullying Taylor around right now.
Yeah, we're watching the Joshua Reed's card is on, so there's a lot of blood going on in this cage right now. There's some swollen eyes and cheekbones.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Taylor's winning because there's a freaking...
Jesus Christ.
Her eye is pregnant.
Yeah. That's one way to put it. Yeah, her eye. There's another human just waiting to burst.
It makes Mark Hominick's freaking head look normal.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so we'll be periodically just randomly giving you guys boxing updates because
it'll mostly be, oh shit.
Right. Her eye's getting bigger. She's 9 months now.
Yeah, Taylor's right eye is swollen. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's a lot of fisticuffs going on. Then there's Rising tonight, but we won't really get to cover that until maybe next week because that comes on at 1 a.m. and I'm gonna be old and sleep. I would stay up and watch it, but I looked at the card. It's a decent card, but not one I really want to stay up late and watch. So
I'm gonna be up front, man. That is, it's not worth $20 to me. Like I like Jake Hune as much as the next dude, but when he's like your fourth from the top,
yeah, not
it kind of tells me you put your best foot forward somewhere else.
Yeah,
and that somewhere else is Bellator MSG.
Hey man, you got to promote a talent in another market.
Kyoji Horiguchi about to freaking become the official Bellator bantamweight champion.
Oh man, dual wielding in 2 organizations. Now that's
baller.
Yeah, that's how you know you're legit. When you're not even just dual wielding in your organization. You went to somebody else's backyard.
Oh, she rocked. Taylor is rocked.
Oh, there we go.
She is. Oh, she is actually hurt. I can't tell. Oh, no, I can't tell if she's tired or hurt because she's swinging again. But
I think it's both.
They are literally just in the phone booth right now.
Yeah, they slugging. Yeah, guys, get on the zone. Well, I mean, by the time you hear this, it's over. But
go back and watch
you can go back and watch it. But yeah, there's some fisticuffs being thrown right now. So as far as today's episode, man, since we took like a 2-week break, I'm pretty sure there have been cards since the last time we recorded. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I either didn't watch them or I don't remember them and I didn't keep any note. So I'm sorry. Shout outs to all the MMA organizations and boxing and kickboxing who probably did have fights that I just don't remember. But I'm pretty sure somebody somewhere was getting punched. So I appreciate you for what you did. I just probably didn't watch it. Too busy eating ice cream cake. So for this episode, man, we're just going to go over fight announcements, which there actually are a pretty good amount of over the last 2 weeks. A couple of news stories, which I'm sure you guys have already heard by now. And then we'll just go ahead and jump into the UFC card, which would be a good idea if I had that pulled up in front of me. But let's start with fight announcements. Like I said, a lot of them. You'd be surprised at how many fights can get announced. Not even just a 1 week span, almost 2. Just a whole just slew of fight announcements. Some of you guys may care about, some you may not, but I wrote down the ones that I found to be at least semi-interesting. So, starting from the top, probably one of the biggest fight announcements that happened over this past week. Chris Cyborg versus former, well, I don't know what you call it, former. Is she still technically an Invicta champ? I don't know how that works.
Lineal Invicta. Oh, no, she's not. Wait, no, she's not, because freaking, what's her... Because Cyborg never lost the title. Well, she did to Nunes, so Nunes is technically the Invicta champion.
Either way, Chris Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer. That'll be going down at UFC 240. Funny thing about that fight was I saw... there was some, I don't remember if somebody posted on Twitter or if it was like I think it was an article. And the article question was like, is it too soon for Spencer to fight Cyborg? And I was like, it probably is, but
I mean, who hasn't it been too soon for?
Right. For one, it was too soon for almost everybody to fight Cyborg. And for two, we have a division that only has like 5 people. Like,
I mean, it has less than that because apparently the fight that was supposed to be a featherweight fight on this card wasn't a featherweight fight.
Yeah. So, yeah. Is it too early for her to fight Cyborg? Yes, it is. But by virtue of there just not literally being enough bodies, she just kind of has to. That's just, you come to featherweight, you win a fight, you fight Cyborg. That's your grand prize. Have fun.
I mean, the only 2 women who are ready to fight Cyborg are Amanda Nunes and Marlos Conan, and Marlos Conan's retired and has like lost twice. So,
yeah. So it is what it is. But I mean, I guess you could say I'm happy for the fight. You know, good luck, Felicia. Hope life treats you well that fight. We'll see how it goes. Moving on down the list, Curtis Blades versus Joey's favorite 205er. I'm not 205er, favorite heavyweight. Shamil Abdurakhimov at UFC 242. At UFC Sacramento, Jesus Christ, a lot of fights. Too many fights. Shout out to Stokes. He'll be there live. He can give us a first-hand account of what these fights look like in person when he gets to see them. We'll get to see 40-year-old Urijah Faber make his comeback. He'll be fighting Ricky Simon. I don't know why he's coming back, but, you know, it's MMA. Retirements aren't real. So, Urijah Faber versus Ricky Simon. That's the thing that's going to happen. Also on UFC Sacramento, we'll have Josh Emmett versus Masad Bektik. And also have Andre Fili versus Shamon Moraes. Derek Brunson versus Ian Heinisch. And for the main event, some people's dismay, but it is what it is. Jermaine Durandamy will be taking on Aspen Ladd. A lot of people I saw not big fans of that fight.
Well, they're not big fans of being the main event.
Yeah. Yeah, I should see that. Yeah, now fans would be in the main event.
And I get that, but at the same time, like, Durandamy was the first UFC Women's Featherweight Champion, and Aspen Ladd's probably the most exciting women's bantamweight / featherweight prospect out there right now. So
She about the only bantam. Ain't a lot of them out there, at least not really worth getting excited about that. I say we've seen it in a while. So,
Kevin Vieira, where you at?
right, where have you been all my life? But I like this fight. I'm not mad at it being a main event. I think it's gonna be a pretty entertaining fight. Well, let me say this. I think it has potential to be a really good fight. I'll just have to see how it plays out. Because sometimes the round to me, I feel like lays goose eggs.
Yeah, nah. Like, this, like, to me, this fight revolves around, like, because Holly Holm was able to push Durandamy repeatedly into the clinch along the fence, and she was worked for a takedown. Aspen Ladd's way better at takedowns from the clinch than Holly Holm is. Like, in theory, Durandamy should have the tools to keep the fight at range, but she's also like a Muay Thai fighter. If memory serves, she's not just like a Dutch kickboxer, and she has like a like a lot of her style in Muay Thai, like in fighting, was like clinch fighting, and
Yeah.
like I don't think it serves her well to go to the clinch with Ladd. So like, I think we talked about it before, but like the transition from kickboxing to MMA is really weird because like, and boxing, because in those fights the distance is so much closer than it is in MMA because there's no takedowns, and a lot of the time your defense when you're done striking is to just like grab the other person and then wait for the ref to break it up. And like if Durandamy like lands a combination, then like just grabs on to Ladd to like push her into the cage and like catch her breath. That's a space where Ladd could just take her down and beat the crap out of her. She is by far the most terrifying top position grappler in women's bantamweight right now.
Yeah.
So like that, and we've seen Durandamy off her back, and it's not good. Amanda Nunes cut through her guard like it was nothing.
Yeah, I think they both, I feel like, have the tools to beat each other. It's just a matter of who can really execute better. So I was thinking for Durandamy's argument, Ladd got tagged a couple times by Eubanks.
Oh yeah, Ladd will be there to be hit.
Yeah, and Durandamy when she's on, she can crack. So I could envision this fight kind of going either way. So for that reason, I'll say I'm happy it's the main event, but I'm not really too mad at it because I think it'll be an interesting fight. I'm gonna be on the optimistic side and say this will be an interesting fight. But yeah, that's UFC Sacramento. But I think a lot of that card, maybe like the entire card, is announced. That was maybe about half of it. So you probably can go online somewhere and find the entire card. But moving on down, UFC 241, we'll have Rafael Assunção versus Corey Sandhagen. That is an awesome fight. That'll be a big win for Sandhagen if he can pull that off. At UFC Montevideo. What state is that? I have no idea what state that is.
What is it? UFC what?
Montevideo. Montevide. I probably should have wrote down the state or country because I don't know.
That's Uruguay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got Ashley Evans Smith versus Talia Santos at UFC San Antonio. We'll have Andre Arlovsky versus Ben Rothwell and Greg Hardy versus Juan Adams. At UFC Edmonton, we'll have Alexandre Pantoja versus Davison Figueiredo. That is going to be a really fun fight. But then I'm going to be hurt because I don't think Flyweight's going to be here for. I think this might be the last year. I think it's over.
There's like 12 fighters left in the division.
Yeah.
They actually don't have enough fighters in the division to fill out one of the ranking pages on the UFC site.
Yeah.
So that division's over. I think they're just waiting on I think they're just waiting on the Cejudo Moraes fight to pull the gun and be like, yeah, you're no longer the flyweight champ.
I don't want to turn this to a whole segue because I'm working on a quick shout out to the Technical File podcast. I do the pay-per-view write-ups on their website for the pay-per-views. And one of my thoughts was maybe flyweight. It's not gonna survive. I think it's gonna die. I think that's inevitable. It's gonna die. But I was wondering if, because I was trying to make the point that if Cejudo wins, it might keep it on life support for just a smidgen longer. Only because I think pretty much any promotion loves the idea of promoting a dual champ. So just because he has 2 belts, they'll keep it around. Just for a little more.
I don't know.
It's probably a stretch, but it was just a thought.
It's possible. It's also possible that they just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
I would say the other thing that I think they'll probably do, get like the top 5 from 125, which would probably be both of these gentlemen. You'd have Figueroa, you'd have Pantoja, maybe a couple others. Like, listen, guys, we need you guys are good. Come to 35. Rest of y'all.
Like, I'm looking at the rankings now, and good God, they just Rogerio Bontorin, who has 1 fight in the UFC, if I remember correctly. Like, Ryan Benoit is at number 7. Jordan Espinosa at number 8.
Oh,
they cleared the fuck out of this division. Good God.
They just gave up. That's
Matt Schnell's at number 12. Like what the?
That is wild.
Yeah, they really just don't care.
Yeah. RRP flyweight. But I'm really looking forward to that fight, though. That's gonna be a really awesome fight. At UFC Sochi, in Russia, Joaquim Silva versus Little Gastelum Nasrat Haqparast. I said that right. And that was actually my last UFC fight announcement. As far as news, UFC signed former, or I'd say the last Cage Warriors bantamweight champ, Jack Shore. I want to say he's like 9-0. Don't know if he has an opponent yet, but that'll be a thing. And you know what? I'll save these other notes for topics we can like briefly talk about. So I'm gonna jump on down to Bellator for fight announcements.
You want to talk about the California old man?
I mean, I don't know. Like this, if he comes back and wins, is it a one-off?
No, that's not how your IFA works. If he comes back and wins, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I could go fight Marlon Moraes or Henry Cejudo."
It's almost like I don't even want to feed into it because, like, all right, man, like, I get it. Like, you know, you probably retired. You know, you spend a couple months home, your body heals up, and you start training again. You're like, oh, I feel pretty good.
It's been 3 years, I think, hasn't it?
It's been some.
Or am I just fucking? Am I hallucinating? Like, he's been gone a while.
Yeah, no, it's been some. It's had to have been some years. If not 3, maybe at least 2. He's been out for a while. He's been active for a minute.
I remember there was like a rumor that he was going to go to like to 1.
I just feel like he was home, and like I said, you know, body healed up. He got in the gym.
Well, Cody lost the title. Chad Mendes retired, and Joseph Benavidez spent most of his time like training with the Deuce and like Mike Wink. So Uriah's just stuck there with like Andre Fili and Lance Palmer. Like, I think that's the main reason why we have as the main event, Vlad Duranzami. It's just there's like no team alpha male prospect right now to take up that mantle, you know?
That's crazy that Fili and Palmer are the ones that, I don't say outlasted, but I mean, you still got Cody, but you know, Cody's kind of
Cody's off doing his own thing, staring off into the lights. Going out. I guess there's like Josh Emmett and like Darren Elkin, but they're not really.
I mean, well, that is true. Well, we were talking before we started recording. Elkins, he had his run, and we're probably not going to see him in a big fight anytime soon.
They don't want him in a big fight.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we probably won't see him in a big fight anytime soon.
So like,
Emmett possibly.
Like I'm looking at the roster, I'm looking at the Team Alpha Male roster right now, and it's like, it's those two and it's Cynthia Cavillo.
Yeah, holding the mantle. But she left though, didn't she?
Yeah, she might have.
I think I brought that up in a previous episode that she did. She went to, was it Jackson's? She went to some other camp, I feel like. So it really probably would just be Palmer and Philly are the main ones.
Yeah.
Because Cody's kind of on, at least in terms of UFC, I don't know, man. He's not really in a good spot. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens with Faber and Simon. I'm happy more so for Simon because if he wins, you get the good veteran name under your belt, and I think everybody wants that. You want that legend name under your belt. That when people look at your record, that's a name that everybody's gonna recognize. Like, oh, he beat one of the greatest bantamweights ever. Albeit he was 40, but is what it is. You got the name on your resume. That's just kind of what matters. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Moving on down to Bellator, they got a couple of fight announcements. Eduardo Dantes will be moving up to featherweight. He will be fighting Juan Archuleta at Bellator 222. Rafael Carvalho will be fighting Chidi Njokuani at Bellator 224. Backtracking actually to Bellator 222. The last time we talked about that card, Machida versus Sonnen was the headliner. It has now been confirmed that McDonald and Neiman Gracie will be the headliner over Machida Sonnen, which is a win for us all.
Yay.
Yeah, here we go. Everybody three.
Also, I don't know if it was before or after our last show, but Rena's going to be on that card.
Oh, yeah. There are a couple of Rosin has slowly infiltrated Bellator.
Cross promotion.
Yeah, so.
Never a good idea. Look at what happened to Darian Caldwell.
Hey, it might not be great for the companies, but I feel for the fans.
For us it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a win-win for us. For them,
I mean, life comes with gambles.
Hey, man. Yeah, and you know what? I will respect Coker for doing this because it's not like he's giving his guys like squash fights. Like, these are legit fights that they could very well lose. So I respect that.
Yeah, Lindsey Van Zandt versus Rena is like a really weird one. I'm with it because Rena gets to fight in the United States, but it's just a bizarre matchup for me.
Yeah, it's not boy, this announcer at this card with the dreads.
Oh, you never seen Man Homie before? I forget his name.
No, I don't think I've ever seen this guy.
He is a consistent figure.
Oh, and last bit of Bellator news, which was very interesting, something I was not expecting. Former Glory featherweight and lightweight champ Robin van Roosmalen, he will be signing with Bellator, and he will be competing at featherweight. I can't remember if they said he's going to be in that little Grand Prix they're doing.
I mean, that'd be really dumb of them to do it, but they also put Ed Ruth in when he wasn't ready, so what do I know?
All right. I can't remember if I saw that, but either way, Robin van Roosmalen will be competing in Bellator. I think he is 2-0 in MMA.
Yes.
And you can find both of his fights are on YouTube if you guys are interested and want to look them up. But if you're not familiar, as far as his Glory career, dude was a beast in Glory, man. Like, he was just a tank of a kickboxer, always having fun fights. The man is an animal. Really, really, really fun to watch in Glory. So be interested to see how he does in Bellator. And PFL, PFL 4 will be on July 11th, and a couple of fights they will be having. We'll have Kayla Harrison versus Morgan Freire, Magomed Karamov versus Chris Curtis. That should be pretty fun. Ray Cooper III versus John Howard, and Sarah Kaufman versus Roberta Samad. And the last fight announcement I have, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury 2 doesn't have an exact date, but we will be getting that scrap early 2020.
Right. So for those curious why we're not getting it, like, I guess now, ESPN signed a deal with Tyson Fury, and he has a fight coming up with German heavyweight Tom Schwartz on June 15th. That'll be on ESPN, and that'll be the day ESPN realizes they gave Tyson Fury $20 million a fight to basically shadow box dudes for 12 rounds. It's going to be glorious. And from what I understand, Deontay Wilder has a mandatory coming up with a guy he's fought already, Luis Ortiz. Probably his toughest fight to date, besides the Fury fight. For those of you who haven't seen it, you'll go check that one out. But from what I understand, he has to fight. Like, Ortiz is mandatory. He doesn't want to pay him to step aside, and they're just gonna do that rematch in the fall and get one more big check out of Wilder before they have to go send him off to fight a top guy, which is my read on it. I don't know. I mean, this is way earlier than I thought we were gonna get these fights. This rematch, so I'm happy for it.
Well, when they get the date, we can mark the calendar early, make it an event. So yeah, that's pretty much it for fight announcements. But we do got some news headlines, and boy, are there some
doozies.
Yeah, we got some doozies.
Can we go like one episode without having to talk about a dude beating his wife or ex-wife or baby moms or?
We'll just start with that. We'll get that out the way. At least the other two. Well, all right, one of them's kind of bad because people lost their jobs, but yeah. We'll start with I don't even have the story pulled up in front of me, but Alex Cowboy Oliveira. I feel like everybody was like a fan of this dude. We've all championed him at some point. Really fun fighter. Great to watch in the octagon. Just do his thing and be wild. But he's out here wilding outside of the octagon, which is never a good thing.
We knew he was wilding outside the octagon. He has 7 different baby mothers. 3 of them live on the same street. He was a real-life cowboy. He was in the rodeo. All things you want to cheer for. But apparently he's also... what was it? Let's see. Okay, so the report is Alex Oliveira wanted for assaulting ex-wife, drunk driving motorcycle with young son. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, and in one sentence, that's way too much already going on.
Okay, and if y'all want to know how young his son he's 5 months old.
Yeah.
Oliveira's manager came out and said that the police are not looking for him, but he was going to turn himself into the police anyway. But the report is Oliveira's ex-wife claims that Oliveira had assaulted her, reportedly telling police that she was beaten with hair pulling and punching by Alex, who still broke some windows and the door of her parents' home. According to MMA Brazil. Following the alleged assault, Oliveira is said to have then gotten his motorcycle with his 5-month-old son without helmets, but left his son at his sister's home before fleeing the scene. At the time of this report, Alex Oliveira's whereabouts are still unknown.
Yeah. So,
Oh, wait, there's more. Additionally, both G1 and MMA Brazil have reported that police have relayed a second criminal incident in which Oliveira was involved on Saturday. Oliveira is alleged to have gotten into a verbal altercation with the security at a party. G1 reports that the security guard has testified at the police station that Oliveira made threats to the man. MMA Brazil, via a translated version of the original article, is reporting that Oliveira was indicted for crimes of threat, injury, and bodily harm. So
Cowboy been out here wilding.
So he had a very busy weekend.
Yeah, and not in the way you want to be productive.
I will say, So no, this article is from the BodyLockMMA.com. I'm not sure if there's like an original article in English that mentioned anything about a arrest warrant, but the response from Alex Oliveira's manager, Alex Davis, this story is being circulated by the media about the incident involving UFC athlete Alex Oliveira does not reflect the reality of facts. The news is there is a arrest warrant issued for him is false. He will, along with his lawyer, meet with the precinct chief in charge to give his side of what happened in a timely manner. So, like I said, this is just from the BodyLockMMA.com. I haven't read the original articles in Portuguese because I don't speak the language. This article doesn't mention an arrest warrant. It just mentions that he was being sought for questioning. So, yeah, that's a potentially disingenuous statement from Alex Davis. I don't know if G1 or MMA Brazil stated that there was an arrest warrant on Alex Oliveira. So,
I know. Well,
never your heroes will eventually let you down. That's the moral of the story.
yeah. I was gonna say, well, as more facts come out, we'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, not a good look. Not a good look if any of that is true. But yeah, that was Cowboy Oliveira. Let's move on to the homie Moneybags Romero over here. I'm gonna read this from the USA Today. I'm just gonna skim through this article, which I'm sure some of you have found out. Article headlined: UFC's Yoel Romero awarded $27 million in tainted supplement lawsuit. Article states that he has been cleared of wrongdoings after a failed drug test from 2016, which was proved to have stemmed from a tainted supplement. He won the lawsuit against the New Jersey Gold Star Performance Products to a total of $27.45 million, according to his agent Abraham Kawa. I'm saying that right. So the breakdown is kind of wild. So according to Romero's team, which includes attorney Howard Jacobs and Kawa, the breakdown of the damages was roughly $3 million for lost wages, $3 million for reputable harm, and $3 million for emotional damage. The damages triple when a company is, quote, found out to have committed consumer fraud per the New Jersey Consumer Fraud Act. So basically he got, the triple double bag because of this consumer.
What a fucking country, man.
Right. Because of this consumer fraud act, he got the triple double bag. Yeah. So it says USADA confirmed that the supplement was provided to them, and they were able to confirm the presence of ibutamorin, which was not listed as an ingredient, and Romero was suspended 6 months. So apparently they sold him some he got the back alley pills. I don't know what to wear on with their pills, but
all I'm hearing is that Yoel Romero is the true natty goat. All natural Cuban meat, bro.
Hey. If he actually gets this 27 mil,
he probably won't.
But if he does, I would not even take the cost to fight. I'm out of there, bro.
Are you kidding me? You give me $27 million, I'm moving out of my house tomorrow.
Yeah, Costa, I'm calling you, bro. I know we wanted to fight like 5 times, but I'm in a different place in my life now.
I'm dropping that resignation letter on my boss's desk, being like, I'm sorry, my situation has changed.
Right.
I am no longer in need of employment.
Yeah. I was supposed to fight on UFC 242, but I make more money than everybody on that card now. Like, combined.
I made more money than the Reebok deal has paid out to the entirety of...
Yeah. I'm out of here. So, I hope he gets the bag, man. I hope he gets the 27 mil. We'll see what happens. But that is that's a wild come up. Like, he would have gotten a lot of money even if he just would have got I guess that would have been $9 million because he got $3 million for like each charge. But the fact that it tripled because of that law is, whew, I couldn't imagine like losing a lawsuit and they're like, yo, you owe that man $27 million.
Bankruptcy.
I mean, sorry, not $27 million. Was it 27? Yeah, 27.
Yeah, well, that's what. Like, oh God, we've talked about it a little before, but the supplement market, particularly when it comes to like protein powder and like all these like energy workout stuff, like they are not well regulated. Like, so I'm not like 100% up on the law, so I'm actually kind of surprised that Yoel got anything out of this.
Does this somehow start a wave of other fighters being like, hey, let me look back into that cream I got busted for?
I mean, it should.
Because I know if I got suspended from USADA and I see this, I'm calling somebody right away. Yeah, we need to inspect all this. If I can even get about $3 million, I'm good. I'll be happy with that. But whew, $27 million. Moneybags Romero. He gonna come back with a gold-plated stool. It's gonna be a problem. Boy, oh boy. But shout out to Yoel Romero. Get the bag. I ain't mad at you. And last bit of news. I only want to dive into this because I find part of it like interesting, I guess. Well, it's not good news. Anytime people lose their jobs, it's not a good news. But the following fighters have been cut from the UFC. All right. One of these is not like the other. Justin Willis wasn't so much cut as he was like, I guess we kind of don't like you anymore, so we're just gonna, get away. Because his situation, I think, was a little different. Apparently, from what I heard and what I read, he allegedly turned down the fight, and they didn't like that, so they said bye. Because he actually had a winning UFC record. His only loss was to Curtis Blades, and I think they offered him the Walt Harris fight, I want to say. Allegedly, that's what happened. And he turned it down, and they turned him down. But anywho, so Justin Willis is out of here. Other cuts include Eric Shelton, Marcelo Gomez, Wilson Hayes. I was kind of sad to see Wilson go, even though he hasn't been on a good streak. But I like Wilson. And the most notable was Elias Theodorou. So the Theodorou cut
that was an actually inadvertent yawn. I know no one will believe it, but it actually was.
People, some people took issue. So I just saw this out of all the names on the list. His name stirred the most conversation. Mostly because he has a pretty good. I don't have his record up in front of me, but
I want to say he's only lost like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. To put it in layman's terms, if you saw his record, there are fighters who have gone through much worse before they got cut. So one would pretty much the only assumption that I think you could make, which I think is causing the I guess debate or conversation or whatever you want to call it, is that he didn't get cut because of his record. He got cut because this is it's a sport. It's competitive, but that's the argument. Yeah, it's probably not. But in theory, it's a sport, but it's also entertainment, and he's not delivering on the entertainment factor side of things, as evident with the Derek Brunson fight that we all saw, and I don't think many of us were thrilled about. So I guess my question, and I pretty much know the answer to this, but I'm just throwing it out there just for conversation's sake. Is it quote unquote fair to cut a guy because he's just not exciting, even if his record, strictly in terms of numbers proves that he belongs to be he deserves to be there?
I mean, that just goes to, people have unions to defend themselves from this sort of thing. Just saying. Yeah. I mean, is it fair? Kinda, I guess, a little bit. Like you said, this is entertainment above anything else. Do I think it's bad for the UFC brand? Like, probably not in the short run, but like, they did the same thing to John Fitch. They did the same thing to Jared Rosholt. And it hasn't come back to bite him in the ass yet, you know what I mean? Like, John Fitch leaves and immediately loses to Berkman. And Jared Rosholt leaves and he can't win the PFL heavyweight tournament. It's probably not fair, but like, I mean, what is?
Yeah, it's
like this is the Wild Wild West, man. Like, not even this is corporate. Like, one person gets to decide your fate, and if he doesn't like you or you bore him, then you have to deal with the consequences, and that's what you signed up for. And if you didn't want it that way, you should have joined Project Spearhead. Like,
jeez, I don't know this guy. Oh, this guy got worked. Sorry, I was half watching this fight.
Callum Smith murdering Endam, yeah.
Jesus Christ! Like, my screen keeps freezing, but every time it unfreezes, dude is on the ground. Like.
So, funny story about Endam real quick. He actually fought in the 2016 Olympic Games. Mind you, he was already a pro and had won a world title by that point. 2016 was the year they let like professionals fight at the Olympics. So it was him and Amnat Sorong, I think is how you pronounce his name. And they both ended up getting their asses beat. Like, really one-sidedly. Actually kind of funny.
Yikes.
But yeah, back to Theodorou.
Yeah, Theodorou, like, it's...
listen, he's coming off a loss. I don't think it, like... This is not the, like... This is not a loss that will... This is not a move that will lose the UFC any fans, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it fair? Probably not. If we're strictly just going by like numbers and record.
But that's just testament to the fact that the playing field that MMA as independent contractors operates on is just not fair.
Yeah, because like you said, if there was some union or any just kind of like governing body,
he would have at least got paid out.
Right. Yeah. Paid out. To be honest, he probably would still be there. But then I guess just in this age of MMA, or at least especially the UFC in particular, I think we have enough evidence to suggest that these kind of things can and will happen. That guys will get cut or released for one reason or another. If you're not on good terms with Dana, if you do something
to fight.
Yeah, but I guess the entertainment factor too. I'll also get it on that front, and I hate defending UFC. I'm all about sticking it to the man, but it's kind of like, all right, I'm a business. I'm trying to put together a fight card, and I need to fill in names. I need fights that are gonna get people excited. People want to come out. People want to see. And I throw you on the card, and not a lot of people are really.
Dude, but here's the other thing: the UFC set him up to fail. Like, really, you're gonna give him the co-main event spot on this god awful Canadian card?
And I mean, I'm pretty sure we both Yeah, we both dragged that idea that Theodorou and Brunson and that high profile of a fight was kind of just a recipe for the UFC at the same time does not do themselves a lot of favors. It's like they don't. I don't know if there's just something in certain dudes' contracts where it's like we sign you for X amount of fights, and then one of these fights you're guaranteed like a co-headliner or something. Because some people get headliners and co-headliners. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you got here.
Your manager must be fucking magic.
Right, because there is no, and it's no disrespect, but it's the truth. Like some fighters, we all have it. Like there's been a moment every fan has looked at a card and you saw that co-main event and you were like, bro, I don't know what you did to get here, but you shouldn't be here. Like no disrespect, but you just should not. Everybody knows, man, the co-main and the headliner, these are supposed to be the two fights on the card that if the rest of the card is whack, at least these two fights are going to save the day. Nobody looked at Brunson and Theodorou and thought, yeah, this the one.
Be heat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sucks for Theodorou. I don't want to see anybody lose their job, not support the whole medical marijuana movement he's trying to do. I'm all in favor of that.
Can we talk real quick about how badly you have to be for the UFC to cut you? Because they'll cut anybody except flyweights nowadays. So they either must like really not like you, like on a personal level, or you must really have stuck up the joint.
Yeah, I think that Brunson fight did not win him over any fans.
I just can't get over him placing his foot on Brunson's knees, acting like that was supposed to do something.
Yeah, I don't want to bad talk the dude.
I mean, here's like Theodorou's rich. Like he is like really rich. Like he comes from money. And he's like an actual model or something. So like, I'm not too worried about him not having another job. Like if this was a dude like I don't know, like a Tony Ferguson type, where it's just like if he doesn't have this, his life will just completely fall apart. Like I'd be more worried, but like with Theodorou, and maybe it's a little unfair to Theodorou because he's actually really about this life, but he'll be fine.
Yeah. This cold world, no snuggie, man. I don't know. Hopefully he lands somewhere in another organization, but at the same time, yeah, you can't fight like that, man. Like,
I mean, you can. It got him to an 8-3 record in the
UFC. yeah. I mean, you can, but it's just, and I'm not even the guy to really like rag people for,
how they choose to fight. Like,
but you look at least with lay and pray, I can look at a dude and be like, all right, he's not doing damage, but he can get a takedown, and he can get it at will. It might not look pretty, but there's some skill. There's something there. I look at some of Theodorou's fights. I'm like, there's just a lot of movement, and it doesn't mean. It's just, I don't know, man. It's different. It's just
right.
Yeah, you have to know, and I guess just a part of me feels like there's no way. This is me armchair quarterbacking, admittedly, but there's no way that I go, even if I'm winning fights, that I go back and I look at that footage and I'm kind of happy with what I did. I don't see how I could go back to the gym and be like, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna win every fight. Like I don't know, but dude has a good record. Don't think he's really taking a ton of damage, so probably still relatively healthy. We could probably see him somewhere else. Hopefully he can maybe reinvent his game. Maybe
he was tweeting about I heard you loud and clear. I need to be better at this martial arts stuff. So
Yeah. So
I don't know how much that's gonna translate into him actually like learning out of the box as opposed to throwing those like half-ass back fists.
right. the the slow time kick, like yeah, we can't do that no more, man. But I don't
He
know.
needs to exclusively do that. That's how he gets rehired.
But I hope dude can go back to the gym, man. Just try to reinvent yourself the best way you can. Maybe we see you pop up on, I don't know, you pop up one of these other promotions, to have a couple decent fights. Maybe you'll make your way back. I don't know, but yeah. So Elias Theodorou, he's gone with all these other people who have unfortunately been cut. But that was pretty much it for the news of the week. So while this Joshua and Ruiz fight is waiting to start, let's go ahead and jump into this card. So today we had UFC Stockholm, of course, going down in Sweden. I feel like the last time we did the Stockholm card, wasn't it like not good for the Swedes? Didn't they lose a lot?
I want to say it was the card that Gustaffson knocked out Glover on. Like that was like their only win that day.
Yeah. They had a bad.
Let's see.
It didn't have a great showing.
Yeah, Volk won, Peterson, Oliver Endcap lost, and I think he's Swedish. Let me just check real quick. Yes. No, Hermanson won on that card. So the real greatest
Right.
Swede of all time.
Shout out to Hermanson, man. He really did just kind of come out of nowhere and just.
He is holding it down for Swedish MMA right now.
Yeah, dude is. He's like the one guy who like thwarted Jacare, and I can't even like hate on him.
That is the biggest win in Swedish MMA. Like I don't like. We talk about like the triple ACL torn Shogun and old Pats that Glover to share all we want, but like no, Hermanson beating Jacare, biggest win in Swedish MMA.
Yeah, and he like beat him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So shout out to Hermanson, man. That's still wild to even say that sentence. Like Hermanson beat Jacare.
There's a lot of unassuming dudes just beating guys we thought were just unbeatable to the lower rank of the division this year.
Yeah.
That's evidenced by this main event.
Whew. I told y'all this main event was gonna happen. I felt it in my soul. I knew it. It hurt me, but I knew it. But anywho,
I feel like we all knew it. We were just like, common sense says Alexander Gustafsson wins this fight. But common sense is wrong.
Right. Some situations you can't apply common sense to, because
light heavyweight MMA.
Yeah, it's one of the variables that just it'll throw your whole equation off balance, no matter how much it originally made sense. You throw in 205 and life just changes.
It's a wild variable.
Yeah. Let's get into it. UFC Stockholm that went down early this morning, bright and early at like 10 a.m. Love the early cards because even if I miss them while I'm at work, I can just come home and watch them. We watch them on ESPN Plus. Pretty easy rewatch. For me, it makes me feel like the card isn't as long as it probably actually is. So I'll give a quick disclaimer. I got a chance to rewatch pretty much all of this card, but the first time I watched it, I did fall asleep during a couple of these fights. But I think my memory is going to hold up for the most part. But forgive me if it doesn't.
So there are fights on here that I paid a lot of attention to, but for the fucking life of me, I just cannot remember.
Yeah, there were some of those.
Like,
this was...
the Tamor Bin Joe fight, I think we were like texting during it, and it was just like...
Yeah, what happened?
I watched every moment of this fight, and I just don't remember. Like, it went in my brain and out like that, and I have no idea what happened.
I actually do
remember
remember
that fight.
There were this was one of those cards that, and we've said this plenty of times. Like, the fights are fun or like they're decent, but they, in the grand scheme of things, don't really like mean a lot. So you just kind of don't.
There were a couple that meant something, like
A couple.
the main and co-main, and had it happened, the Latifi
That was fun.
Uzumir fight probably would have meant something, just because that division is literally anything can fucking change with any fight. And it was really low in the card, but like Leonardo Santos,
Woof.
that man is about his business.
Joey, I feel like Joey made fun of us for bringing him up once.
Joey makes fun of Leonardo Santos a lot. And
Joey, you want us an apology, Joey?
Yeah. Freaking, he called him boring. Is he still boring, Joey?
He killed the man. Sorry, Steve. You know, no disrespect, but
Just went out to Europe and just murdered a European man in his own continent.
that man had a family.
In
He
theory.
took it from him. But no, I mean, yeah, it was a pretty solid card throughout. Just there were some of those fights where like you watched it and it was fun while you were watching it, but if you try to recall it, you're like, I don't remember really what happened. I just know while I was watching it was cool. Yeah, there were a number of those fights, but all in all, it was a pretty solid card. So we'll just start from the top. Main event: Anthony Smith, Alexander Gustafson.
In that order.
This fight.
So, like I said at the start of the show, Leonardo Santos is now the second best light heavyweight in the world.
This fight, man. Pretty sure I posted this on pretty much like every social media account. On paper, Gustavson is definitely the better fighter. He's definitely more talented, better striker, just overall better. But I didn't have my money on Gus in this fight because I felt it that somehow, some way he was gonna find a way to let this just slip right out of his hands. And it hurt me to think that, but I had to face the facts that it was just gonna happen. And yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
This fight got me nervous from like jump. You know, first couple rounds, Gus is doing a lot of movement, a lot of footwork, a lot of feints, some leg kicks. Not really landing anything too substantial.
Not really throwing anything too
Yeah.
substantial.
And I was getting the feeling with Smith that like he was just kind of waiting to land a big shot. Cause I honestly thought this fight was gonna end in KO. I was actually surprised I'm gonna say surprised it ended with submission, but I thought Smith was gonna end up like clipping him and knocking him out. But yeah, first two rounds, Gus isn't really doing a whole much. Smith doesn't have a great ton of output, but he's definitely landing like the harder shots. He's, you know, pushing forward a little more. He looks like he's actually trying to go for it, but you know, being patient because Gus, you know, he moves around a lot of movement, just back and forth, side to side. He's doing all kinds of wild stuff. So I actually kind of like what Smith was doing. It wasn't the most exciting for the first couple rounds, but I like that he was being patient. He wasn't rushing and into anything, getting clipped. Third round, things started to pick up a bit more. I think it was the third where Smith did like flurry him one good time, backed him up against the cage, but Gus ended up circling out. And there were moments, little brief moments where like when Gus would commit, he would land like a pretty decent shot. But the moments were kind of far in between. Like I spent the whole fight kind of waiting for Gus to like, if he can just uncork like a nice 3-piece, like, because when Gus does decide to let his hands go, we've seen it, man. It can be a thing of beauty. The man can unleash some combinations, like. But I felt like the whole fight was me just kind of waiting for him to just, all right, this is gonna be the round where he, you know, I'll give you the first two. You're feeling things out, whatever. I get it. So I'm thinking 3 and 4, like, all right, he's gonna really we're gonna see old Gus. And I don't think he ever really. We saw it in like super brief spurts. You might have caught Smith with a couple of good shots.
He hurt him to the body in the third round. I don't think he realized how badly he had him hurt.
Yeah, I think he. At first time I saw that, because sequence he's referring, Antarctic was referring to, he caught Smith with a hard body kick, and Smith was visibly hurt, but like he immediately went for a takedown. So when I watched it in real time, I was like, oh, that was stupid. Like, like you should have just kind of backed off and just, or just not went for a takedown, kept attacking the body, or maybe just even went to the head, because he had him visibly hurt. But like rewatching, I think he had it in his mind that was what he wanted to do, that he was just gonna kick and go straight into a takedown, because it was kind of a seamless. He didn't pause in between those motions. Like after he threw the kick, he went straight for the takedown. So I don't think he really noticed what he didn't see his handiwork. I don't think he just kind of went for it, and he ended that round. I think that was the third. He ended that round in pretty good position. And then in round 4, and I should say, I think by the third round I had Smith up 2-1. I think I had him up 2-1. I think Gus landed statistically a lot more than Smith did.
Well, a lot of those were the kicks to the leg, because he had a big lead with those. At some point during the third round, they got the stat out that like it was like 33-9.
Yeah, he was throwing a lot of. They weren't like really hard kicks, but he was just kind of throwing something out there, keep Smith honest, keep him at bay.
Yeah, and they hurt. That's part of the reason Gus won the third round. Like Smith's leg was just all marked up from Gus just kicking at it so much.
Even Gus's leg was bleeding.
That took like 2 seconds too.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That's the point I realized he just wasn't gonna win.
Yeah,
his body wasn't gonna do it.
By like the third kick, the bottom of Gus's leg is like covered in blood. Like, bro, where did that even come from? But yeah, the more this fight went along, like I was like, Smith just needs to land a big shot, and then Gus would have a few moments and like, all right, Gus, it's time to turn it up. And they had a brief moment where they stood in the pocket for like a quick second. They would both land a couple of good shots, and then the fight would kind of just return to normal. And when I realized that Gus wasn't really putting his foot on the pedal as much as I thought he should, I was like, oh, he's gonna lose. Like, this is gonna end bad. And fourth round comes, man. Gus goes for this judo-ish takedown, and it completely backfires.
Yeah, that was that's in like the worst takedown Hall of Fame right there.
Yeah. Judo takedowns in general can be a risk, because it's like if you don't execute them right, you're gonna be in a bad spot.
Right.
And it was especially bad to do on Smith, because if not for nothing, dude is strong. Like, he's a strong dude. Not somebody you're really just gonna fling around like he's some little kid. So Gus goes for the judo sweep, does not work at all, ends up on the ground. As soon as Smith took his back and starts landing ground and pound, I just saw the way Gus kind of like curled up, and I was like, there we go. That's it. Game over. Gets a couple ground and pound shots. I feel like he got Gus's neck. He didn't even really have to work that hard for it.
Yeah, there was like no hand fighting.
Yeah, like it almost seemed like when he took Gus's back, like Gus subconsciously just kind of gave up. Like he just
like there was a point where like Gus was like tripoding, trying to get Smith off his back, and like he nearly had Smith off, but Smith reached underneath both of Gus's arms, and like kind of just dragged his body back down, and like Gus just kind of folded in on himself. It was like, okay, that probably shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, and once he got that, you knew it was over. Gets Gus's neck, chokes him out, and boom, Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. Like, this is gonna sound really harsh, especially after what happened after the fight. But like, Sensei, I need you to tell me the most impressive Gustaffson performance outside of Glover Teixeira that he actually won.
All right, hold up.
As a boxer.
All right, hold up. Let's pull up the record. All right, outside of Gus, he didn't really beat Jan with boxing. He started using takedowns. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah, it would either. Some of these I don't even remember. Well, are we really gonna count Jared Hammond? Like,
But the point is, like, you have to go all the way back to like before he was fighting top dudes to to find like a performance where like we saw like a really impressive win as by result of his like hands. That wasn't Glover Teixeira.
I don't really remember the Manoa fight. I remember the Shogun fight being good. I also remember thinking during that fight, as fun as that fight was, I was surprised at how well Shogun did.
Right, because this is like 3 or 4 months after Shogun had like a life or death fight with Brandon Vera.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I'm not completely shook that Smith beat Gus. Like Glover was just like a layup of a match for him. Like he really was, like shorter, small reach, really slow, not very durable, but does not eat punches well. And like I'm just gonna like I think the Jones rematch showed that like Gus kind of hasn't gotten better in like the 4 years or like the 4 or 5 years since the first fight.
Yeah, he's
6 years. Like I don't think he's gotten any better.
No, and that was another thing I noticed when I don't know why this made me think of it, but like there was a moment where I think Smith had I don't know something had happened and Gus did the running thing that he does.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the same guy.
Hey, I'll give him this. He didn't do that a whole bunch in this fight. It wasn't like the DC fight.
Yeah. He only did it like once or he only did it like twice.
Yeah.
But like I saw that and I was like, oh man, yeah.
But like the thing that like the thing where I thought Smith had a chance is, from what I can tell, Gus really has struggled in the past with dudes who are just as long as him and who can get underneath him for like those overhands. That's how Shogun. If you go back and watch the Shogun fight, that fight was a lot of like Gus going for takedowns and stepping knees because Shogun was repeatedly touching him with the overhand right. But against guys like there were no combinations against Jones like he was throwing against Glover. You know what I mean?
All right.
Excuse me.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. Because like he like I know like the first fight was a lot of people saying, oh, Jones only does well against guys who have the same amount of reaches, like who have a shorter reach than he does. But like we didn't see the same thing out of Gus either. Like the combinations were few and far between. There was a little bit more pot shotting, a lot more movement without any clear distinction like what he was trying to do. Like the jab just basically it didn't disappear, but it wasn't as prevalent as it was against some of the shorter dudes he's fought. Like against Anthony Smith, like Smith is really long, he's really tall, and when he chooses to be, he can be a pretty alright combination puncher. He can put 3 or 4 punches together. And when he did against Gus, like he landed. Like, he would land the one that was really really freaking clean. Every single time. Like, so like, there was a path to victory for Smith, and he really. I'm not gonna go out and say it was like an amazing performance, because I think we also saw like the bad parts of Smith's game, where he just like mentally shuts down and is just like really upset with himself, or he starts fighting in a way that's not really like conducive to him winning fights. Because like that third round was him just literally just like doing the exact opposite of what was winning him the fight.
Yeah, because he stopped. He wasn't really the one pushing it anymore. Gus was kind of leading the dance more.
Right.
Yeah, he had moments where he was just kind of like, he was just there.
Yeah, like, from what I could tell, what Smith wanted to do this entire fight was to catch Gustaffson like committing on a jab and like hit him with that overhand right and knock him out. That rarely ever happened. Instead, Smith seemed frustrated that he had to throw like 4 or 5 punches to actually touch Gustaffson. In the third round, he just completely shut down his offense. It was like, no, I'm going to counter. That's how I win fights. That's how I've always won fights. And then his corner after the third round was like, dude, throw combinations. You're touching him when you do. Stop throwing the freaking fight away. So, just it was an amazing performance, but it was a solid performance against a Gustafson that I think I think injury and time and just losing all these close decisions have just taken all the fire out of him.
Yeah. And for guys, anybody who didn't watch, pretty sure by the time you guys hear this, you should know, but Gus took the gloves off afterwards and said the show was over. And
I like, on the one hand, this is MMA, dudes say that shit all the time, and then they're back like 3 months later. But on the other hand, like, if you're Gus, you fought for the you fought for the title twice. You lost super close decisions both times against 2 of the greatest fighters of all time. You got knocked out by Rumble. Like, you had 4 or 5 years where you were just battered with injuries, to the point where you fought like maybe 4 or 5 times in like 5 years, 5 or 6 years actually. And then you lose to Jones again, but even more one-sidedly. And now you lose to Anthony Smith, a guy who a year and a half ago was getting knocked out at middleweight. I can see your fire getting taken from you. You know what I mean?
yeah, now that's actually the quote I saw. I didn't read the article, but yeah, he said he doesn't feel like he has it in him anymore.
Dude, like, what a fucking year, man. You got Rose and Rory saying that they don't got it in them anymore. They don't want to do this anymore. Gus is on the doorstep of leaving. Who else am I forgetting that wanted to retire or did retire? Oh, Jose Aldo is about to leave after his next fight.
Yeah,
And then you have Urijah Faber who's like, yeah, no, I'm still here, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's rough out here, man. Yeah, it was sad to see him go out like that. Cause like I used to champion Gus so hard. Like, I always believe like this he's gonna win one of the big fights. Like, I don't know how long he'll hold on to the belt, but I'm like, he can get it. I know he can get it. And he just, every time he got the chance, man, he came up just short. And yeah, it sucks. But I mean, in hindsight, he gave us a lot of fun fights. In terms of Swedish MMA, probably like a god over there. So, like, right. Yeah, he's pretty cemented. I would say not not a career to like be ashamed of. I think he's just kind of one of those guys. If I could liken him to, I think of like a basketball player. He'd be that one basketball player that you look at and be like, man, he was really good, but he just never got the ring.
You know what he reminds me of? Am I thinking of Grant or am I thinking of Larry Johnson?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Probably both. You know, Grant, great player, phenomenal player. And yeah, no, I'll probably say more Grant Hill. Like, phenomenal player, and injuries just really messed him up. And he just kind of... You kind of knew that was why, part of the reason why, like, this guy's never going to get a ring, man, because he's just... Yeah, too busted up. Yeah.
So, I have a question for you. Phil Davis or Alexander Gustafson? Which one had the better career? Has had the better career?
God, this hurts. All right, hold on. Before I say that, let me pull up Phil's record because I just got done looking at Gus's. So hold on. Gus, I'm trying to make a case for you, bro. I'm trying so hard.
Because here's the thing.
Hold on. So this is actually interesting because, all right, well, I'm gonna throw MMA math out because I know somebody's saying, well, Phil Davis beat Gus, so therefore, but MMA math don't work like that. But I'm looking at the rest of their records, and I'm trying to think of who has the most impressive wins.
See,
what is Phil Davis's biggest win?
I think his biggest win is either Lyoto Machida or Glover Teixeira back when like those wins meant something.
And then Gus's biggest wins would be what? Shogun, Glover.
That's the thing. Like Gus's whole career is like not his whole career, but like
it's probably Phil.
All this talk about him being like the best UFC like heavyweight to never win a title. It's like his best wins are like Shogun coming back from knee surgery and like old man Glover. And against John Blachowicz.
Yeah, it's probably it's probably Phil. If I was to look at overall who had the more impressive wins, it's probably Phil. Phil has Phil got Brian Stan, Little Nog, Machida, Glover. Then you go to Bellator, you got Newton, McGeary twice, King Mo. Yeah.
Even though he lost that fight.
Yeah. It's probably Phil. And the thing is, even if it's not Phil now, Phil's still fighting.
Right.
And he's actually getting better somehow. So if it's not Phil now, it probably will be by the time it's all said and done. Man. I gotta move on that note. That just hurt.
It's wild, right?
That hurt. And the Anthony Joshua fight is starting now. Oh, all right, they're doing walkouts now. It's not starting.
I mean, let's talk about the real number one contender fight. Anthony Smith.
Oh.
John Blachowicz after Blachowicz beats the crap out of Luke Rockhold.
You know what? This almost makes me want to root for Rockhold so that two middleweights can fight for.
It kind of makes me want to root for Rockhold just so we can get them to fight one another because I know Rockhold was talking a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah, they don't like each other. They don't. Yeah.
But like I can see Rockhold winning that fight up until freaking Smith just catches him in the second round.
I feel like he would win kind of just like Bisping would. Like he's just gonna cork one on him that Rockhold ain't gonna see coming. That's wild. But that was the main event, man. This is the end of Gus's career. I was a fan, man. It hurts to see him go out like that, but
I might have just shot on his record a little bit, but like, dude was undeniably fun to watch.
Yeah, he had a lot of, and that's what makes it just kind of frustrating because he's had a lot of good fights, and we've seen how entertaining he can be, and it just, you kind of looked at him like, man, I felt like you could have done a lot more, and it just, it hurts. It hurts. But I mean, all in all, man, a fun career, and that's the most I guess you can ask for. At least I won't look back and be like, oh well, his fights were terrible. Like he had a lot of fun fights, you know, good performances, and the Glover KO is probably one of my favorite KO sequences ever. That was just beautiful to watch. So he gave me something, man. He gave me something. So shout out to Gustaffson, but congrats to Smith. That's a huge win. Middleweights. Dave Branch. I don't know what y'all doing.
That could have been Dave Branch.
Yeah, it definitely could have been Dave Branch. But that was the main event. Moving on. Co-main event of the evening, keeping it with the theme of 205, Alexander Rakic and Jimmy Manuwa. I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot about Rakic a little bit in the vein of kind of these other 205ers that have been on the come up. And I kind of forgot that he was, I don't say in the mix. I felt like he didn't fight as often as everybody else, or maybe he has, and I just kind of haven't really been.
Let's see. He only fought once last year, I think. No, he fought twice.
He beat Clark and
Justin Ledet.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's been around, but you know, when you got Johnny Walker flying kneeing people, and
it's a little hard to stand.
To
be memorized and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we know his name now.
Yeah, he out
forever.
Here. Yeah, he out here now. Poor Jimmy, man. When Jimmy gets KO, this is not like a normal KO. Like
No, that's a 40-year-old man getting knocked out, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Like he gets knocked out like a civilian.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, this fight lasted all of 42 seconds. It was a lot of a couple power leg kicks. Rakic trying to throw the 1-2 down the pipe, and then he does this great, beautiful combination. I think it was a right uppercut to a left, and the head kick came right behind the left, and just catches Manuwa, and he instantly goes out. Head bounces off the canvas, body stiff. It was beautiful and scary at the same time. But you were afraid for Manuwa, like, all right, man, you gotta get back up, because he was out for a good minute. Yeah. It was one of those KOs where you look at Manuwa and be like, dude, it might be time for you to
hang him up.
Yeah, because that was not a pretty.
Dude, I feel so bad for that like mid 2010s like class of light heavyweight. Cause like they are all like noticeably old now, and it's just like they just get sent out there to get the shit beat out of them.
Yeah, they're getting folded.
Like fucking Patrick Cummins, whose entire career has him been getting beat up, but it's just getting progressively worse to the point where he's losing to like Ed Herman. Like, OSP is just clearly not who he used to be. And now Jimmy Manuwa was on like a 4-fight skid. And he's been knocked out in 3 of those 4 fights.
Yeah, and they've been bad knockouts. Like
low light of.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no.
But, hey, man, Alexander Rakic, if you didn't know his name now, you know, insert new challenger at 205. I'm happy for Rakic, though, man. Like I said, anybody at 205, man. You out here trying to make a name for yourself. And he's only 27, which means at 205, he's like 18.
Right.
so he could be around for a very, very, very long time.
Like, like, I'm not, like, I think we're still in the phase where we don't know how, like, actually good these 205, like, up-and-comers actually are. And how much of it is, like, the guys they are fighting are really faded.
Yeah, because you don't really know until either the young prospects fight each other or they fight a top guy a la John Jones
Well, that's
or
the thing though. Like I said, like normally you if this was like welterweight and you beat like Max Griffin, like you are a pretty darn good welterweight, right? Like you might not be a top 15 dude, but you're a dude who should be fighting a top 15 opponent.
right.
There is no class of like light heavyweight like that.
Yeah, the jumps are very sporadic. Like
Like like OSP, Jimmy Manua, and Patrick Cummins were once like gatekeepers to the top 5, but like they just can't buy wins anymore. Like they are like durability wise, like and just speed wise, like they are just on the downside.
is Shogun the benchmark now?
Like, dude, like Shogun's a benchmark to the top 10. Can't
Shogun
make it the
and
fight night like in 100%.
Shogun and Corey Anderson.
Corey Anderson, I feel like if there's a dude, if there are two dudes who are like, all right, you beat this dude and you're like a top 5 guy, or you're ready for a top 5 guy, it's like Jan Blachowicz and like Corey Anderson right now. Because I think Corey Anderson's kind of just turned it around. Like he's doing pretty good recently, if I remember right. He beat like Latifi, he beat Glover, and he beat Cummins.
Whew, yeah, so yeah, even for Rakic, it's and this fight ends so short, so you didn't really get to see a whole lot. So yeah, like I said, it is kind of hard to tell exactly how good they are.
Like how much of them winning is youth and athleticism against guys who are fading, and how much of it is that they have like good complete games that are built to finish guys who are just not at their level athletically.
Then at the same time, it's kind of like 205 ain't getting much younger.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, you got a couple of guys, but so even if it is just youth and athleticism, in this division, that'll actually carry you pretty far. Boy, this division will be crazy if whenever John Jones leaves.
Like
That belt is gonna change like every fight.
it's gonna be like it was in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, but it's gonna be like a worse version of it. Like so far, the only one I'd call like of these young guys like Rakic and Walker and who's the other dude?
Reyes.
Like Reyes is there was nobody else besides Reyes. He just fought like not last week, like 2 weeks ago. Am I forgetting? Am I just making somebody up right now?
Probably is. It might be like one more.
Point being, like Reyes is the only dude who I'm like, okay, he is actually good, but he's still not ready. Like Reyes is a good, solid, complete mixed martial artist. In the traditional sense that I would say that like a Santiago Ponzinibbio is a good martial artist, you know what I mean?
All right.
Or like a Vicente Luque, but like he's still not ready for Jones. I'm not like if Gus hadn't retired, I would have been like, you know what, Gus Reyes would be a good fight, but you know Gus Smith would be a good fight too now, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But we should probably talk about the freaking finish to this fight.
Yeah,
which was the entire fight.
Right. Let's say that uppercut to the left to the head kick, that is just hiding ever so perfectly.
The switch kick.
Just as soon as it landed, you just knew, like, oh yeah, he's done.
Alright, dude, like he did the whole robot go stiff, bend forward, fall back. Like,
yeah. Like body switch completely just shut off.
Mm-hmm.
It's, oof.
You know what made it especially sad? Who was it? Oh my god, I forget her name. She's actually really good at her job. Was it Megan O'Leary? who was talking about like her interview with Jimmy Manuwa like during his walkout, where she was like, Jimmy was like I sat down with Jimmy and he was like, if you tell anybody anything about me, tell them that I'm 39 years old and I'm still getting better. And I started this sport when I was like 28, and I got off the couch. And a couple weeks later, I got my first fight, and I'm here and I'm ready and I'm gonna be champ. And then like 45 seconds later, he gets knocked out. That was heartbreaking.
Well, life happens fast.
Life happens violent. God.
Yeah.
Like, that was legit one of the nastiest head kick KOs.
Yeah.
That I've seen in a hot minute. Like,
yeah. It don't get much better than that. It don't land much cleaner. The KO don't get much better / scarier. Yeah, that's a highlight reel. If Rachik does nothing else for the rest of his career, you're on like the all-time head kick KO list somewhere. You're on there somewhere. Man. Oh man. But yeah, it's not really much that really analyze about that fight because that was
a 40-something second fight.
Yeah, that was all that happened really, outside like a couple leg kicks.
So I'm looking at just to the Joshua Ruiz fight real quick. They haven't started yet. Why is Ruiz's face marked up? Like he's been boxing. Like
yeah, somebody caught him in the back while he was doing a little pad work. He didn't dodge.
like, I don't remember his face being that red.
Yeah, like his cheek looks a little.
Somebody went a little hard in sparring.
Yeah.
Dude,
Joshua is built like a superhero.
He is.
Where'd you saw that? Where?
All natty.
That man is built like a straight up superhero.
Dude added like 50 pounds in like 3 years. It's really crazy.
It's wild.
It's also probably juice, but
oh.
let's be real. Who cares? Everybody fucking juices in boxing.
There are no rules.
Gerald Miller was out here failing like 3 separate drug tests.
You guys know what you're signing up for.
That's what the judge says.
Yeah. That's sad. Shouts to Mark Hunt, man. That sucks. But moving on. Going down to featherweight, Makwan Amirkhani versus Chris Fishgold. Man, it sucks for Fishgold because he's always in like fun fights, but he never happens to come out on like the right end of the fun fight.
Yeah, he's always doing really well, and then he's not, and then he loses in the second round.
Yep. Makwan Amirkhani, man, he came out the gate ready to go. I think he did like a flying knee as soon as it started. He did something. He flew.
He went for the flying knee.
Yeah, as soon as it started, he was out the gate ready to go. Yeah, no, this was just. I wish I could remember this fight more in detail. I felt like it was a fun fight. I just remember the finish because it was that ending sequence was kind of wild. But it was a fun fight. Good to just see Amirkhani back. I thought he looked pretty good.
Amirkhani averaging 1 fight a year in the UFC.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like when he fought, I was thinking of him and Santos, like who was out longer? But then Santos was out for 3 years. But Amirkhani just seems like we just go long stretches.
I mean, the dude's first fight in the UFC was in 2015. He's fought 4 times since then.
Yeah. So, because I remember when he first came, there was a lot of hype around him, and like he was doing good, but it's like, man, we don't really see you that often. But no, he looked good. He looked good in this fight. But no, this I like I said, I wish I could remember it more in detail. But the ending sequence was wild.
Apparently, Makwan Amirkhani spent like the entire year that we haven't seen him trading his like striking, and you wouldn't know that if you saw him fight because Chris Fishgold was having a lot of success on the feet, but then he would overcommit to something, and then Makwan Amirkhani would take him down.
Yeah, his takedowns were clean.
Oh yeah.
He had some really clean takedowns, like effortlessly clean. But boy, the ending sequence. Mirkani goes for a takedown. Fishgold goes for a guillotine. Doesn't get the guillotine. I think for like a brief second he tried to switch it to like a Darce. Loses that. Mirkani, I think, somehow ended up on top. And then Mirkani goes for the anaconda choke, and they have this little. It looked like a ritual dance, like like Mirkani has the anaconda choke in, and they're kind of like. It's hard for me to describe this unless you guys know what an anaconda choke looks like, but they just do this little spinning.
It was a grown man running on his side.
Right. It's like those. It's like they were real life fidget spinners. Like they were just on the ground, just kind of going in circles. Like Fishgold's trying to push his leg away so that he can't, get the angle, add more pressure. And Mirkani's like chasing them, and they're just doing this. It's like if Tom and Jerry were running on their side trying to chase each other. Like that's. It was wild. It's one of the craziest like submission finishes, just because the way it led up to the submission. It's not surprising because I guess what you need to do is defend it, but it was kind of funny to see them just like chase around each other for like a good 10 seconds. But Mirkani ended up sinking the choke in. Cat and mouse game ended. He won. Hopefully we see him within another year. He's not out for too long.
Hopefully. They got that card coming up in Denmark. He could be useful considering they don't have any like fighters from Denmark on the roster anymore. Shouts to Nicholas Dolby. Not a whole lot to talk about. You hope Amir Khan comes back and he actually fights, because he might not be a complete fighter, but like he's really good at the one thing he knows how to do, and it's grappling.
Yeah, dude, get you on the ground, that's a problem. Like I said, and those takedowns were clean. Those were some real clean takedowns. And at 45, man, a lot of fun fights at 45. So I would want to see him in the mix.
I want to see him fight like Kron or like Ryan Hall. Just really test that ground game.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully we can just get him to fight again. Because he definitely got hit, but shouldn't be too beat up. We should be able to see him again within some months, like maybe late this year,
right?
Early next year at like the latest.
Like I said, I think we're gonna see if he's healthy and he wants to fight again this year. I think we're gonna see him in Copenhagen.
So we'll see. So Mirkani, if you happen to listen to this, be available, man. Don't be chilling out till like mid 2020.
Dude's Mr. Finland. He has like TV commercials and like magazines and stuff to do.
Can't be dealing with us peasants and our need for violence.
That was loud. It was Stokes.
Oh. But yeah, that was Makwan Mirkani. Impressive submission. Go watch just that ending sequence just to see how that little cat and mouse choke went. But Mirkani won via anaconda choke in round 2 over Chris Fishgold. Moving on to lightweight, Christos Giagos versus Damir Hadzovic. This is one of those fights where I remember watching it and being entertained, but I don't remember much of what happened. All I can kind of remember from this fight is that Giagos landed a lot and Damir was like a zombie. And you thought he would have died, but he didn't die. Like he just kind of kept pushing forward. He was getting beat up. He got taken down a good number of times. But it's like, man, this guy just, if you can't do anything else, the man can take a hit. Kind of all I remember. Not much else.
It was a lot of Giagos taking Hadzovic down. Hadzovic still has the most freaking terrifying nickname in martial arts. Mixed martial arts anyway. I think Joey tried to tell me he calls himself like the Bosnian Viking now, but I am like 55% sure I heard Dan Hardy or Paul Felder say that Demirovic calls himself the Bosnian Bomber still, which is a terrifying nickname for all the wrong reasons. Ruiz is down.
Oh. Did he go down?
He went down, but he's back up.
Okay, my stream froze like right when Joshua landed.
It could have handled that amount of falling. That's a lot of poundage hitting the mat. Up. I lied to my brother. Joshua's gonna get me off here in 2. Oh! Joshua's hurt.
Uh-oh.
Joshua's down.
Oh, I can't. My stream is my stream keeps freezing. Wow, Joshua is down on the knee. Wow.
Oh, Andy Ruiz, an apology. You don't need to look like a model to fucking be. Oh my God, he's gonna do it. Oh no, he's not. He's good. He's on solid feet again. This is hilarious. In all fairness to Andy Ruiz, he has a solid argument for beating Joseph Parker when they fought. If he was like 15 pounds lighter, he probably would have won the fight.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We'll keep you guys updated. Well, it won't matter. By the time you guys hear this, you'll know. But in real time reactions, man. But
dude, like Joshua looks bad. Like he's never been the most. He is. He's on chicken legs. Oh shit, he's on chicken legs.
see, it's so hard for me to watch them. My DAZN stream just keeps freezing. But I'll let you watch that. You probably have a clearer stream than I do. I'm over here. I should pull this up on my phone, actually. That would probably be much smarter. But moving on down the list, Daniel Tamor versus Sung Bin Jo.
Yes. See, this is one of those fights where I watched the entire thing. I wasn't like, oh, this is the most boring thing ever. I'm just going to zone out. It's just like, Joshua's down again. Oh my God, he's about to lose the title and a bunch of money. Stand up.
Joshua, get up. I'm trying to pull this up on my phone where I'll probably have a much better stream. But, yeah.
Guys, Saved by the Bell in the third. Saved by the Bell in the third. Saved by the Bell.
Let me turn my phone down. Okay, I got it up on my phone so I can watch. All right, but, well, yeah, guys, we're going to be reacting to this while it's happening. Yeah, now I got a clear stream.
I'm sorry, I keep like, oh my God. Oh
yeah,
this
is
Eddie
wild.
Hearn.
Get your boy. Get your boy. I think your stream's ahead of mine though. But all right, yeah, we're gonna talk about this card. But if Joshua goes down again, guys, but yeah, just real time. But Tamor Bin Jo was this was one of those fights where I almost thought Tamor was gonna find a way to lose, because in the beginning, in the first round, dude came out the gate like throwing really hard. I think he stunned Bin Jo like right in the beginning. He landed some really good shots. He was throwing some hard kicks, some hard overhand rights. He was pretty much putting his heart and soul into everything he threw at him. And it was bothering me because he would tag Bin Jo and then he would like go for takedowns. And there was a moment in the first where like Bin Jo had threw up a triangle. He went for an armbar. I was like, please don't end up getting submitted in a fight where you clearly like should be winning. And it was one of those fights where I felt like Tamor should have just kept it on the feet because it seemed like he had a clear advantage. But he kept, I don't know, maybe he just wanted to show off other wrinkles of his game, what he could do in a clinch. Yeah.
Because Jimbo just shut down after the first round.
Yeah, because after that, Bin Jo just didn't do much of anything. He just kind of played the outside of it. He was just there. He didn't really do much.
This seems like a pretty clear case where like Sung Bin Jo, when he was fighting in South Korea, like he was the most athletic, the strongest, most athletic guy on the scene, and then he gets to the UFC, and then he's surprised by how quick and how powerful UFC competition is, and then he just immediately shells up because he doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, and like he literally, outside of like those few times he would throw up a submission attempt, he didn't really do much of anything. Didn't offer much pushback. Tamor got off a lot of hard shots, and then he would just get takedowns. Not a whole lot to really analyze in that fight. Good on Tamor, pretty dominant win. Not really much to say. That was the main card.
I mean, it's his first win in the UFC. Give him that.
Oh, hey, there we go. That's something. So, congrats. First win in the UFC.
Now 1-3.
Yeah. But good luck at featherweight. That might be the easiest fight you'll get unless they find somebody else they can bring in from another organization. Because it's not getting much easier after that, buddy. But win nonetheless. That was the main card. It would have been longer, but Latifi Volkan got scrapped. So hopefully Latifi's okay. He had like a back injury, I think, or something like that.
Is that what it was?
Something like that. He got injured. Something happened to him.
Yeah, Latifi back injury.
Yeah. So hopefully he's okay. Because I was looking forward to that fight. That would have been a fun little 205.
That would have been a great fight between two guys who primarily only fight for a round.
Yeah, it would have been a round of just unadulterated, pure light heavyweight action that only light heavyweight can deliver. That was the main card. Moving on to the ESPN2 prelims. Oh, I'm going to mess this name up. Sergey
Kadoshkov.
There we go. Versus Rostam Akhman. I'm just going to call him Akhman. Fun fight.
Sweden's only loser.
Oh, he lost?
He lost? Akhman?
Yeah. I didn't watch the result of the fight. Like, I just watched the fight and then
yeah. So Akhman actually came out, had a really good first round, like surprisingly good for a dude who only has 6 pro fights. Like I know he did the IMMAF, and was really successful there, but like he was still fighting a dude who had 30 pro fights compared to his like 6 on short notice. So he came out, he did his thing, was really applying pressure, keeping busy. Was actually the busier fighter over all 3 rounds, I think, but. Kadashko, he dropped him twice in the second round.
Yeah, I was gonna say he for as much as Akhman pushed the pace, Sergey had more like moments because he dropped him twice. Did he drop him in the third? No, he staggered him right at the end, I think.
Yeah, he staggered him in the third.
Yeah,
I had a little in the second, besides the knockdown. So like, Akhman was the one pushing the pace, but like he was not the one landing the highlight reel.
Yeah, the highlight reel hits. Yeah, so, but this was actually a fun fight, and I didn't know either of these gentlemen, so I was like, "Wow, is this the prelim headliner?" But no, it was a fun fight. For short notice, Akhman put on a really high pace. It was pretty much action all throughout the fight.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm not mad. This was actually a good prelim headliner, like you said. Yeah, Sergey had all of the highlight moments, dropped him twice, staggered him in the third. But Sergey's lucky that he won this fight because there was a moment where he got taken down, and there was a lot of taco meat in his face. And
ooh, yeah, can we talk about?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So can we talk about Rostam Akhman's, why was he allowed to wear a sweater during the fight?
Yeah, this man,
Also, why did his sweater have, like, 5 really strange holes in the middle of his chest?
Yeah,
like, there was just no hair and it refused to grow or something.
Akhman is one of the weirdest, hairiest dude, like...
Think young Arlovsky.
But I get it, man. Some people got the taco meat on the chest. I'm actually a hairy gentleman myself. I don't got that. This man has taco meat on his arms, his beard has his shoulder has a beard.
His back.
Like, he is unnaturally hairy. Like, it was like he was in the middle of like transforming into something, and then he stopped midway. But like he kept all the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when he took Sergey down, and I saw all that taco meat in his face. Like, bro, I might have just tapped out right there, and nothing even happened. Like, get your hair out of my mouth. Like,
Ugh.
there's got to be some athletic commission rule again. Like,
I mean, I've seen like commissions like force fighters to like shave their heads or like shave their beard. I don't know why they wouldn't force him to shave his chest.
yeah, because
and
it's
back
like,
and
yeah,
gut
and
shoulders
it's not even
arms.
just like a little hairy, y'all. Like, it is.
Full on Wolfman.
Yes, the man has a full just wool sheet on his chest and back and shoulders and arms. It was bizarre. Lord, Sergey, boy, I know I would have showered all day after that. But it was a fun fight nonetheless. So shout out to Sergey and shout out to Akman too. For a short notice, that was a pretty impressive performance. Wouldn't mind seeing him again. Moving on down, women's bantamweight, Lena Landsberg versus Tanya Evinger. All I remember from this fight is Evinger getting caught with an elbow and her face was a crime scene, and that Lena somehow out-grappled her and beat her up on the ground.
Yeah. That ACL tear just completely took whatever prime Tanya Evinger had left, because she has a bad in her last two fights. Like, the Cyborg fight is the Cyborg fight. Like, what are you gonna do? But like, she used, like, her one thing was she was really strong and she could drag women to the ground, and it no longer looks like she's really strong anymore. Also, like, just fighting like these women who are actually like really good, experienced clinch fighters, probably not helping. Lad's just ridiculously strong, and Lena Landsberg, that's the one place she actually feels comfortable fighting. And we saw the results of that here, where she just bloodied the crap out of Tanya Evinger's face. My favorite were like just the knees, because she would be pushed against the fence by Evinger, but she would bridge on Evinger's face and then like just throw this like really slow but deliberate knee at Evinger's forehead, and she would like land two or three of them before Evinger was able to get her to stop. On the ground, like you said, those elbows and those hammer fists,
just beat her up, just stole the lunch money. Like, completely stole the lunch money.
Yeah. Props to her, to Landsberg. Just like, I feel bad for Evinger. Like I said, that ACL tear just like ruined her shot in the UFC.
And that I think she's like 37.
Yeah, she's pushing 40, and she has 20 fights on her resume. Like, she has over 20 fights on her resume, almost 30. Like, and the way she fights, she is very much someone who would be susceptible to like wear and tear.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of sucks, but great for Landsberg though. Like, she went out there and did the thing. That was pretty much a wipeout. But without getting the finish. But yeah. So congrats to Lena Landsberg. Next fight. A name that we have mentioned on this podcast because he hasn't fought in God knows how long, and he came back
like an angel.
The man came back from, I think, a 3-year hiatus, man. Leonardo Santos versus Stevie Ray. The man came back and gave himself one of the best KOs of the year.
I mean, if anything, this just means Stevie Ray's gonna fight for the title, right? Because that's what happened to the last guy who Santos knocked out.
Right. So Stevie Ray, get ready. It's coming.
It's your time. You've been
Man.
initiated.
It's wild because Santos, for this fight, it was a lot of heavy body kicks. Just a lot of heavy kicks. But he was consistently pawing out with that left hand.
Uh-huh.
And he kept pawing out. And he kept pawing out. It would just be leg kick, paw out, leg kick, paw. I'm not leg kick, body kick, paw out, body kick, paw out. And then he pawed out one time, got the distance right on the nose, uncorked the right hand while Stevie was trying to come in, caught the man right, just you can't place a punch better, and completely just cleaned him. Just one shot, kill, game over.
Yeah, that was a terrible punch by Ray.
I don't know. I wonder if he just got frustrated and he was just like,
I'm going to commit to this no matter what.
Right. And when that happens, when you have those moments, things don't tend to go well.
Oh crap. Joshua down again.
Oh, you're definitely ahead of me. Oh, are you in round 7?
Yes.
All
Round
right,
7, 2 minutes and 16 seconds left.
Oh. Hands. Oh my.
Yeah, I think this goes a long way to the theory that Joshua just doesn't deal with short opponents very well.
Jeez. Yeah, you're definitely ahead of me. I'm just now at 2 minutes.
Oh my god, down again? Down again. Okay, he's about to lose the title. Because that shot was not even bad, that one that hurt him.
Yeah, did that left even land?
It just got... Oh, he waved it off!
Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Y'all. Oh my god. Bruh. Ruiz, man. Wow.
Andy Ruiz just... Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I haven't seen a ton of Joshua fights, but of the ones I've seen, yeah, he did not look good tonight at all. And I don't even want to really take this away from Ruiz, because, hey man, the W. Oh my goodness. Bruh, this is wild. Dude, he really just put pause on Joshua. Joshua looked really just nowhere near as technical as I've seen. Like, he just looked really flat. Like, I don't even really know how to. He just looked really flat.
He's looked worse and worse since the fight.
Oh man, that is crazy. Joshua looked bad.
He looked really bad.
Ooh. Wow. I'm forgetting we got fights to talk about. That is, oh man.
Oh my god, like, just.
Congrats to Ruiz, man.
Big, like, first person of Mexican descent to ever hold the heavyweight title. The men's heavyweight title, I should say.
Dropped Joshua like 4 times.
Mm-hmm. that was like that was probably on the odds a bigger upset than. Actually, I can't say that. That's not quite Buster Douglas, but that's
It's
only
close.
because that's only because Joshua was not as good as Tyson was.
Right. It's as close as you can get in like this era.
God damn. Like
That dude. That is, oh my god. Dude, that is
Nah. I see people saying, this is why you make big fights when they're supposed to happen.
indeed. Cause Joshua Wilder,
That's off. That's
gone.
It's gone.
Gone.
You're never gonna see it.
That
And
shit.
if you do see it, it's not
sailed.
gonna be the same.
Nope.
Stupid. Eddie Hearn, you deserve to lose your license.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh Ruiz Wilder now. That's what we got.
No, you know what we got? You know who's coming back? Joseph Parker.
Oh my god. Dude, I know Wilder is probably like dying laughing.
I mean, I wonder if he's upset because that's a freaking.
Well, yeah, that's money. Yeah, that was money.
I mean,
and the thing is, like, yeah, now you can't, even if you do that fight, that money's not going to be the same. That pot's not going to be as big. Because it's not like Joshua went out here and, like, lost a war. Like, he didn't even look good. Like,
and Dylan White. Like, Dylan White's another dude who he beat Parker.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Jesus Christ. Y'all. This is. Whew, I'm glad we watched that in real time. I'm glad I saw that, like, while it was actually happening.
Oh my god. Like, Joey has no fucking idea. Oh my god. He's watching Godzilla right now.
Oh my god.
Wait, where's Stokes? Oh my god. Stokes, no, Stokes, he probably put money down on Ruiz, right?
Right. Stokes got rich. We ain't never gonna hear from him again. Oh man. That is. Bruh. I don't even know what to tell you.
Like, I didn't.
Yeah, I think that's the lesson. When you got a chance to make a money fight, go get that money.
Like, no, when you have when you have the chance to make the right fight, make it. Because, like, we've been through this in MMA where, like, people chase the money fight and it leads to inferior product for the rest of us. But, like, that could have been easily Wilder versus Joshua or Joshua versus Fury tonight. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to do it.
Word to Crawford and Spence.
That could easily be y'all.
Yeah, stop playing. Stop playing. Cause yeah, don't let this be you. Do not let this be you. I forgot which one of them fighting Thurman.
Neither. I think Pacquiao's fighting.
Oh no, not Thurman. Isn't one of them fighting soon?
One of them. Crawford just. I think Errol Spence is fighting like Luis Castillo or something.
Whoever one of y'all fighting next, if you win, and hopefully.
No, they both just fought. Now I think about it.
Okay.
So
yeah. If you saw this, don't yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, they're both way better for boxers
True.
than any of the top dudes at heavyweight.
True, but when the fight is there and it makes sense, like just do it. Just do it. Have a great fight, make a lot of money, be happy. Fans will love it. Your bank account will love it. It'll be a nice moment in history we all can look back on and be fond of. Now we're all gonna look back at Joshua like, bruh.
Yeah, bro. You had it and you let the bag escape, man.
The bag left the house. The bag is gone. You fumbled on the 1 yard line. Wow. All right, let's get back to this card because we can go on for that for a while. Who are we talking about? Leonardo Santos.
Now I feel bad we overshadowed his moment.
Right. I mean, well, in the same vein, he had a great, probably not as great as Ruiz because it wasn't as huge an upset and he didn't win a belt for it. But 3-year layoff, came back and got one of the best KOs this year. Looked solid, a lot of body kicks, and killed Stevie Ray with a right hand that absolutely floored him. And he didn't really take a lot of damage this fight, so kind of like in the same frame of Amir Khani. Please fight again very soon, especially for Santos, who we haven't seen in 3 years, and considering he's like 30. I didn't even know he was that old.
Oh yeah, no, he was old when he knocked out Kevin Lee.
Dude was like 39 or something like that, or 30. He's in his upper 30s. He don't got a lot of time left.
Yeah, he is 39 years old.
And this ain't the division that you want to be old in. So like, dude, you need to fight as much as possible, as quick as possible, because the clock been ticking. But nah, great one for Santos, man. We brought his name up a lot on this podcast, wondering like, where is he at? Where's he at? He back, and he killed the man. So congrats to him. Sticking in lightweight, moving on down, Frank Camacho versus Nick Hahn. This was actually a really fun fight, as most Camacho fights are. I think dude has like 3 fight of the night bonuses. It was cool to see like Camacho have a violent fight, but a patient, violent fight. Didn't rush in and do anything crazy. Got really creative with the strikes, a lot of good combinations, kicks, elbows, but he wasn't out there getting caught in like brawls. He looked just really good, and the finishing sequence, man, he just pieced Nick Hahn up. Like he caught him like a 1-2, staggered him, beat him up against the cage. Nick Hahn, I don't think he ever even like fell over, but he just ate so many shots that it was like, all right, yeah, we've seen enough. Like he ate like the Killer Instinct Ultra combo, and we didn't need to see that.
Oh God, yo, Frank Camacho, best performance of his career, man. Just body kicks, body punching, it works. You can see Joshua in the ring. He's trying to talk to the judge, the official, and be like, "I was still good to go."
Nah, bro.
Nah, bro, that's not how it works.
Yeah, right. That is not how it works at all. But no, you're right. Yeah, that probably is the best Camacho.
Just patient, like did not overcommit on anything. Even when he had Hind hurt, took his time. Did not go crazy trying to finish, but was still delivering with some like really nice combination work, really aggressive combination work. I'm always a sucker for an aggressive pocket fighter, who's able to tone it down when he needs to. So. Big shouts to Frank Camacho. Just absolutely battered the crap out of Nick Hahn.
Yeah, Camacho, yeah. lightweight, man. Another guy. Just, I don't rank him as high as everyone else, but on the entertainment factor, he's up there. And any Camacho fight is going to be a good time. God, it's so hard to talk about the rest of this card because I just want to talk about. I mean, these last 3 fights we can kind of.
Hey, there's not a lot there of substance. Let's just bulldoze through
Yeah,
these.
we'll bulldoze these. Women's bantamweight, Bea Malecki versus Duda Santana.
Santana was winning this fight until the fight was to the ground.
Yeah, and then she got she was landing a jab. Yeah, she was looked like she was about to go on and win a decision, and it went to the ground, and then she got her back taken and got choked out for her troubles. Shout out to Malecki, who I think they said is training at Fortis. I think they said she's roommating with Macy Chiasson.
I mean, if you can't beat her on the show, you might as well learn from her in real life, right?
Hey, I ain't mad at it. But yeah, that was that fight. So shout outs to Malecki. I think that was her debut. I want to say, but either way, solid win for her. Moving back to light heavyweight, 205 was all over this card. Devin Clark and Darko Stoics had the most 205 fight I've ever seen. It was everything good, bad, and terrible about 205. There were moments when nothing was happening. Then there was moments where people were getting rocked. There were moments when everybody looked tired. It was everything and in between. But Devin Clark got the win. I think he dropped Stoic twice. Somebody landed a spinning something in this fight. I think it was Clark. But it was a fun 205 fight that gave you the good, bad, and ugly of 205. But it was fun. It was and the night of 205ers, I think we actually got some good fights. So I'm not going to complain because 205 fights can definitely go the other way. So congrats to Devin Clark. He got a win. And the last fight on the card, Yoel Alvarez defeated Danilo Belluardo via TKO. I remember this fight being fun, but I don't remember it much in detail, probably because it was the very first fight.
Belluardo just struggled everywhere. He got takedowns that he couldn't really do anything with. Alvarez, if I remember correctly, almost hit a triangle right before the end of the first round, but Belluardo was able to posture up, so he just proceeded to use his legs to kind of lock Belluardo down while he hammered him with hammer fist from the bottom. In the second round, it was Yoel Alvarez was battering him with kicks, and then he took him down again, and then what was it? It was a Dagestani what was it, handcuff, where he just swept him over, and then proceeded to beat on him until the referee called the fight. It was some straight up UFC 2007 grappling on display here. So yep, props to Yoel Alvarez, I guess.
There you go.
Proving once and for all, Spanish MMA is way ahead of Italian MMA.
Oh man, but that was UFC Stockholm. Like we said in the beginning, pretty solid card from top to bottom. Not really. I can't really say there were many terrible fights. Every fight had a little something for everybody. Maybe not every fight meant something in terms of a grand scheme, but on an entertainment factor, it was pretty solid. And the main event, I guess kind of was what it was. But we got some great KOs. You got the Santos KO, the Rochik's head kick, which are two of the best KOs you'll see all year. Good to see Amir Khani back. Very fun fight from Camacho. So you got some good. There were some good happenings on this card. So solid card, and it was early in the morning, so it's not like we had to stay up until midnight, watching it.
I need these memes, man. Where are they?
You give them another about 20, 30 minutes. They'll be up there. But that was UFC Stockholm. You know what's wild? There are a lot of people on my Facebook who apparently didn't know Joshua was fighting tonight, and they're just now finding out that
Yeah, like this, like there was like no advertising for this fight. But this probably got more fucking eyes on it than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just.
Boy, oh boy. On the front page of ESPN, Jesus Christ.
Like he has looked progressively worse.
I mean, because he got like that one. He got what? I mean, he got one knockdown or two. He knocked him down like the third, didn't he, Joshua?
Joshua?
Didn't he start?
He knocked him down, yeah, the third round.
Yeah.
Second or third, anyway.
Yeah, and then after that, it just. Ugh. Yeah, this is. It's so wild. People on the time like, yo, what? Joshua lost. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not the most unbelievable thing ever.
But yeah. Yeah. The bag, man.
Damn, Errol Spence said it best. Fuck the pot up.
Yep. Nothing else to say. Mess the bag up for you. If you're Wilder, you probably a little salty. Like, man, I just needed you to handle business, and we could have still, we could have still did this. But that is.
Dude, like UK boxing is on. This is not a good time, bro.
That's what a time to be alive, y'all. Those are crazy podcasts to come back to. Like, I knew this episode we'd have a lot to talk about, but I forgot that this fight was actually happening today. So, say we came back on a pretty good note. We came back with some happenings going on.
God damn it. Fucking Luke Thomas.
No, but what he say?
This feels like what MMA would be if Paul Blantonello won the UFC title. Don't fear Andy Ruiz, fear the consequences. Dude, Andy Ruiz is a way better boxer than fucking Paul Blantonello was an MMA fighter. What the I hate people so much.
Oh boy. I don't even know how to end this now. Like
Don't fuck up your bag, people.
Oh man.
Get in and get out.
Yes. Tomorrow is not promised. Neither is round 7.
Dude, oh my god, that's right. Andy Ruiz is a PBC fighter. Shit, this might actually affect the Tyson Fury rematch. Because the PBC now has control of all the heavyweight titles. And now they tweeted out the Mexican flag 20 minutes ago. Oh, that's not good. People, we might not be getting Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder after all.
Wow. What a what a podcast. What?
I legitimately don't know how to end it.
Yeah, it almost I don't even, I almost feel like just abruptly just cutting it off. Like in The Sopranos, we just cut the black. Like it's over. Like that's it. Yeah, y'all. I really don't know how to. That was UFC Stockholm. That was a real-time halfway analysis of Joshua Ruiz. At least a real-time reaction. Maybe I'll go back because fights stay on the zone. So if you guys have the zone, you can go up and watch it. It'll be posted probably tomorrow, or by the time you guys hear this podcast episode, it'll probably already be up. I might go back and rewatch it, and then when we record next week, I'll we can like revisit it, let the fight sink in a little bit,
Yeah.
and go back and like actually break it down and figure out where life went wrong, because it definitely went wrong really quick. Man, but yeah, that's pretty much been today's episode of the podcast. So I guess we can go on and get out of here with uh parting shots and shout outs. We can even do that. Boy. I don't have any shots. Um 30 years old. I'm just trying to be happy. Try to have some positive energy. But I'll yell on the lawn one of these podcasts. Nobody really got me too angry this week. Or if they did, I forgot about it. So no shots. But I will give a shout out. Real quick mention. I forgot to mention it earlier, man. NBA Finals going on. Golden State and Toronto. I got $35 on Toronto, so shout out to Toronto. Even though I hate Drake on the sidelines, he's pissing me off every time they put the camera on him.
Does anybody like really like Drake?
It's like, why is he so close? Why is he on the floor? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But shout out to the NBA Finals. Fun time of year. Didn't get to catch game 1, but I should be able to catch game 2. I think comes on tomorrow at like 8. I'll definitely be home by then. But my actual shout out is gonna go to Juwan Howard, man. Former NBA player, former Michigan Wolverine, and he will be returning to Michigan after all these years as a head coach. For those who don't know, Juwan Howard was a member of the infamous Fab Five team with him, Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Jimmy King, and some other gentlemen who I cannot remember. But he took over the job at Michigan after their other coach, John Beilein, left to coach Cleveland. Good luck coaching Cleveland. Hopefully you can do something, because, boy, without LeBron, that organization has been trash. But, congrats to Juwan Howard. He had a really, emotional press conference, got to return to school. The Fab Five and Michigan and that university don't have the best of relationships. If you guys have never watched the Fab Five documentary on ESPN, the 30 for 30 they did, go watch it. It's a really great documentary, and it was one of those documentaries that made me in favor of collegiate athletes being paid. Definitely was one of the documentaries that made me kind of reconsider that stance. But congrats to Juwan Howard. That's dope that you played for the school. You were on one of the most famous teams in that program's history, and now he gets to go back as a coach, and hopefully he can do great things. So shout out to Juwan Howard. That's pretty awesome. And shout out to the listeners, man. Shout out to you guys. Keep listening. Keep sharing. Keep listening to that Andrade Thug Rose podcast for whatever reason.
I mean, get your fix in however you want. You feel me?
Yeah. Whatever works for you, we appreciate it. But keep sharing, man. Share with a friend, coworker. You're on a little coffee date, send it to her or him, whoever you're with. That's all I got for parting shots and shout outs.
I mean, shouts to well, first off, shouts to Delphine Pursuit, who I think got robbed. Mind you, I was watching this card while we were recording, so I'm probably not the best when it comes to scoring the fight, but from what I saw, it looked like she won the fight. Even with the fucked up face down there at the end of the match. And shouts to Andy Ruiz Jr. Cause he fucking did it. He did it.
I feel like him winning is for just like he did it for the common man.
I mean,
we all won.
He is the common man.
You look at the physique and it's like, yo, he did that for us. I think we all won tonight. Oh man.
What a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
And to think, next weekend we get to crown a UFC champion for the guy who lost his belt because he couldn't stay off the EPO. So, what a magical time.
Indeed. Oh, real quick before we leave, for my anime fans out there, if you guys have been watching Attack on Titan, if Levi isn't in your consideration on your list of greatest of all time anime characters, think after the last episodes we gotta start having that conversation. Or maybe I'm just late to the conversation. But Levi is a GOAT anime character. I won't spoil the episode for those who are fans, but Levi is that guy. But anywho, this has been another episode of the Dojo Talk Podcast. As always, give us a listen on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Hit us up on the Dojo Talk Podcast Facebook page, as well as the Instagram page. Send questions to dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. And you can follow me on Twitter as well as Twitch @SerialSensei. That is all we got for today's episode. So as always, anytime people are being punched and or kicked in the face, we will be there to talk about it. And until next time, we will catch you guys later.